Yeah, I wanted to stay on Joe Budden because we can't just roll off of him without him responding to being number one.
Yeah.
That needs its own moment. So I'll say why I think Joe Budden also should be number one. Joe Budden should be number one because on the microphone, a nigga does it better than anybody else.
Exactly.
In terms of delivery of a message. He's got everything that you would want in a podcaster. He's got the voice. He's got the message. He's got the skill.
The funny, the humor.
He's got the funny, the humor, the resume.
According to text, the manipulation ability.
Right, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in terms of that, he's got it all. The production, the consistency. He's killing niggas with consistency by dropping 3-4 times a week.
And you can tell he's an artist. Like you can tell he actually loves the game and the creative of it.
Yes.
Some niggas is talking, some niggas is actually doing language arts.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's assimilated into this podfather role. So like I would say for white people, Joe Rogan is the podfather, and for black media, it's Joe Budden.
Fucking Budden.
It's Joe Budden, which I would love to see them sit across from each other.
Do you got to be bald to be at the top of media broadcasting?
You got to be stressed, and baldness is a part of that. But Joe Budden is a fucking
I guess I'm on the way, nigga, because I'll be smoking.
Hey,
I'll be stress smoking too.
Hey, you about to be up there, nigga.
Yeah,
I'm
about to be up there with it.
My nigga, we got braids. We a long way from this list.
I about to say
we a billion follicles away, nigga.
So now in Joe Budden's wake of being crowned as number one on this list.
Oh yeah.
Over the weekend, he dropped an episode called '𝙾𝚂𝚃.
But a few new
because
niggas
niggas are pissed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
He did this shit. He treated this shit like Kendrick on Control.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
A lot of people were controlled. People like Elliott Wilson were dropping their accolades because they, everybody, just like rap, everybody feels like they should be. Yeah. Everybody loves to say everybody should feel like they're number one. I'm personally don't believe that everybody should feel like they're the best because, nigga, you're not the best. If you're not the best, you're not the best. I think you should want to be the best, but you can't just because you say you're number one, nigga, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And then it's a part of being humble, like, nigga, you're on the list.
Right,
Talking about some bullshit.
A little pushback on that. You have to believe it before other people do.
That's true.
We started off the show saying two of America's most wanted, not because America actually gives a fuck about us.
Right.
We just trying to make that happen.
Well, that's true, but it's just like a little. It's different. It depends on how you go about it. Like I don't like when like a nigga that's trash for like genuinely objectively trash. It like really be out here talking like Kanye. It's like shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
God.
And it's like so that advice works for some people.
Yeah.
It just depends on how serious you're applying.
Like if 𝙬𝚾 was coming, how Elliott was coming, it's like, all right,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, if Jazzy was popping shit like that on her Instagram story, we'd be like,
oh
little
my
girl,
God,
sit down.
it's little demon.
Sit down, little girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Joe Budden addressed everybody who had something to say about him in his last episode.
In glorious fashion.
In amazing fashion. And he proved again why he does what he does because you know what I'm saying? Like he proved
Objectively speaking,
he's
the best.
He literally addressed all you niggas in a span of about 3.5 minutes and really was chopping y'all the fuck up.
Look at this picture. Look at the way he's looking at the number one. It's like he already knew.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, bro.
Let me go smoke a Newport to this news.
I mean, I'll drop little clips in here, but he was like, to whom making some of the best shots that he gave was to Rory and Mal, man.
I thought that was the only shots. I didn't know he was talking shit about other people.
Oh man, he gave lists. So and really, to be fair, I'm gonna put some respect on Queen's Flip name too, because Queen's Flip let that thing go too.
And he's talented. I like his own persona.
I was not a Queen's Flip fan for years. I thought he always did too much, and I thought he was fucking annoying. For years.
He found a space. He found a spot on that.
It's hard to like a nigga in short form content when he's pissing people off in the video.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And it's like, and I knew he did a podcast.
Yeah.
And I would see it every so often, but I feel like the only time I would see the podcast kind of go up was when he was doing those pranks, when
he was agitating people.
You know, it wasn't off of the conversation that they were having.
Off the pimping.
Off the pimping. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Joe Budden let Rory and Mal have it.
Nigga, go back to sit. Don't sit up because he's taking pictures, nigga. Hey, I said.
He let Rory and Mal have it. He sent shots to Rory and Mal. He sent shots to Elliott Wilson. He sent shots to 𝙬𝚾 the God, Mouse Jones.
Oh, so he was just talking shit.
He was just talking. Did some of these people deserve these? There was a few strays.
Sure.
I feel like
when Mouse Jones do anybody, he ain't
I
make
think
it.
Mouse Jones was talking crazy about him. So
That's what I'm saying. Some of these are like
back.
callbacks.
Yeah,
Some of these are callbacks.
Okay.
Some of these are like, all right, you know what? I'm finally gonna talk about you niggas.
Like
now,
I've
you know
been
what I'm saying?
waiting for a reason to come at you niggas next.
Exactly.
Not for a reason,
He really
'cause-
went real light on Mouse.
Yeah.
When he was like, Charlamagne, your man couldn't. He didn't say Charlamagne. He was like, your man couldn't fuck with me on my worst day.
Yeah.
He's like, this nigga needed a new pack of Hanes white tees. Stop playing with me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But the shots that he gave to Rory and Maul, because Rory and Maul responded to the list being number one, and these niggas was mad.
And they're not even on the list.
They're not even
like,
on the
you
list.
Can't, like, and you would think, right? Because
These
you know,
niggas
Rory,
not on the list. I just thought about that.
Yeah, they're not even on the list.
They're smart. They know how Joe thinks. You can't set yourself up for failure like that to talk shit and you're not even on the list.
Tell me it don't prove that. It's just like
that's a bad look.
And
that's
it
like
proves that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like, what are y'all thinking about?
It's just a bad look. Like
Yeah.
when we was on TDS radio, I was like, bro, it's nothing worse than like going to McDonald's and like the worker is angry. It's like, nigga, you don't know how bad you look right now. You in McDonald's, you're working at McDonald's and you're angry. That is two bad looks right now.
If your life sucks, just say that shit.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, nigga, your car, but like, just say it.
Yeah.
But it's just a bad look. And I feel like they were smart.
What do you call them? The bum ass bandits?
The
bare minimum
boys.
I like bum ass bandits.
But Rory and Maul, did y'all hear them talking about it? I'm gonna see
Rory and Maul.
Rory and Maul talking about the list. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
We don't deserve, like, they don't
bro.
talk about the list.
Again, we're talking about niggas who are doing way better than us.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, I don't feel like they're doing better than us. Well, numbers-wise,
numerically speaking, yeah.
Numerically speaking, only.
I think I give Rory and Maul a run for their money.
And I saw, like,
no questions asked.
it might have been y'all niggas. They was like, Rory needs to get, like, you know, a new co-host. Because, like, Maul don't be getting the jokes.
I've been seeing a lot of that. Yeah, they were saying that. They were saying Maul is bringing Rory down.
Like, comedic, right? Like, Rory, I've seen a clip on Reddit. Like, Rory said some joke. It was the most basic setup. Like, it was just so easy. And, like, Maul just didn't get it.
He treated that shit like Joe Rogan be doing that. Because, you know, comedians like to go in there and do bits. And he'll just completely let that shit fall flat on his face.
Yeah.
Rory and Maul, y'all are...
Who was your favorite between them two? Between Rory and Maul?
Either one.
Because the thing with me and Joe Budden's content is I go in and out of watching his content in full doses.
Yeah.
So when the podcast first started, there was a good year that I watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I go on, and every other year I decide to watch the full episode. So that's pretty much how I've been treating the Joe Budden podcast since it started.
Yeah.
The first year I watched all the episodes in its entirety. The second year I just watched the YouTube clips. The third year I watched full episodes. I've literally just gone back and forth.
Oh, okay,
that's pretty much how I've always watched their podcast since the show started.
See, I heard all about their podcast being so fucking fired.